Ever find yourself standing in a room, like the kitchen or hallway, and you kind of forget why you're there? It's not like forgetting a name or losing your keys. It's more like a pause where what you were about to do just slips your mind for a sec. Your eyes might wander to the wood grain on the table or how the sunlight hits the floor. It's like the world slows down and you're just there. We usually brush these moments off as nothing or think we're just being inefficient. They seem too small to even think about, especially when we're busy with chores and stuff. Since they don't mess up our day too much, we usually ignore them. We tend to see them as just little blips in our schedule that we need to push aside. People don't really talk to friends or family about these moments. It's hard to explain something so vague and quick, maybe because we don't have the right words for a shift in focus that doesn't feel like much. Bringing it up might feel like making a big deal out of nothing. Without a real problem or story, these thoughts stay private, hidden. But paying attention to these shifts could be worth it. Seeing how your mind moves and where it rests can give you a new view of time. When you're not focused on a goal, you start to see your surroundings differently. The feel of a fabric, the sound of the wind, or your own breathing becomes clearer. It's not that you're not thinking, but you're engaging with what's around you in a new way. You go from planning to just experiencing the space you're in. It makes you wonder what happens when you let these pauses happen without trying to explain them. If your mind wanders from a task, where does it go? And what does it find? There's a stillness that suggests a different way of seeing the world, one that's less about what you're doing and more about how you're experiencing it. It makes you think about whether a moment's value is always about what you get done, or if there's something to learn in the quiet moments that pop up during the day. Sometimes the world seems to suddenly come into focus. When you're sitting in your favourite chair or making a meal, you might notice the hum of the fridge, dust in the sunlight, or the slightly uneven surface of a mug. These small details have always been there, but they start to grab your attention. You stop thinking about what something is for and start just seeing it. A window isn't just for light, but also full of reflections and textures. This experience is quiet and persistent, a slow gathering of observations that don't seem to lead anywhere. These moments often seem unimportant because they don't throw off your routine. Noticing a shadow on the rug or the sound of the wind doesn't stop you from doing what you need to do. It's easy to see these moments as daydreaming or being unproductive. In a world that values getting things done, spending time thinking about a stone or a clock can seem like a waste. We often see these experiences as background noise, small details in a busy life. We don't usually tell others about these things because there's no reason to. It can feel silly to say that a neighbour's rake sounded interesting, or that a plant looked greener than usual. There's no problem to solve, and you're not sharing any important facts. Sharing these fleeting thoughts might feel like wasting someone's time, especially when there's other stuff to talk about. So, this awareness stays private, a quiet part of life that stays hidden. Seeing this shift in attention might be important, because it suggests a change in how you relate to the world. When your mind focuses on these small details, you're engaging with the present in a special way. It takes slowing down and letting your surroundings become the main thing you're thinking about. It's moving from living for the next thing to living in the moment. By noticing these details, you might see the world as more real and less like a backdrop. This kind of attention lets you connect with your home and life in a new way. Think about whether this shift towards the senses is how we find balance. If you're not rushing to meet a deadline, maybe you're just letting your mind rest in the present. Maybe these moments are a chance to see the world with patience. This way of seeing doesn't need a conclusion or result. It makes you think about whether the best experiences come from what we do or from simply noticing what's been there all along. It's pretty normal to have a little delay when switching from one thing to another. When you finish a chapter or hang up the phone, your mind sticks with what you were doing. Your body might be ready to get up, but your mind is still back there. It's a gentle pause between thoughts, a slow reset before you move on. It's like your mind needs room to slow down. This pause isn't confusing, but it's a sign that you're slowing down internally. These things often seem small because they don't stop you from getting things done. You still fill the kettle and get the mail, even if you sit for a minute on the bed first. But these pauses are easily ignored. Since we still get things done, we don't really think about the time in between. People don't usually talk about this feeling because it's hard to describe. Saying you needed 5 minutes to get up after watching the news feels strange. There's no easy way to describe being between thoughts. Without a good way to put it, we keep it to ourselves and assume others are moving faster. It's a personal change that doesn't match the outside pressure to always be busy. Seeing this change in pace might matter because it lets you respect how you experience things. When your mind lingers on a conversation, it might be processing what was said or just enjoying the connection. This slower pace lets you finish one thing before starting another. It creates space that protects each moment from blending together. By seeing these pauses, you find that your day feels like a deliberate flow. This rhythm is different, but it has its own value. Consider whether this slower movement between ideas means you're more thoughtful. If it takes longer to switch thoughts, maybe you're giving each thing more weight. There's something good about a pace that doesn't let the clock rush it. It makes you wonder if the speed of transition shows what you can do, or if it just shows how deeply you're thinking about something. Maybe these quiet times aren't wasted, but a space for your mind to settle into the moment. You might spend a lot of time watching something, like a bird in the garden, or how ink soaks into paper. When you focus like this, you don't quickly notice other things nearby. While your eyes are locked on one thing, the rest of the world kind of fades away. You're fully in one thing at a time. The day slows down as you focus on the details. There's a stillness where you don't want to move on, but you're curious about what's right in front of you. These times can feel small because they happen when you're relaxing. Spending 10 minutes watching steam from tea or looking at an old book doesn't seem important. In a world where we measure the value of a day by what we get done, this focus might seem like a lack of progress. It's easy to see this as a distraction or a sign you're slowing down. We don't tell others about these things because there's not much to say. It's hard to explain why you stood at a window for 15 minutes watching the light on the trees. Sharing this might feel like you're admitting to being unproductive or out of touch. There's a worry that others might see this focus as being disconnected. So, these experiences stay private, personal thoughts on the world. They're quiet moments that don't fit in a fast society. Seeing this shift toward a deeper focus might matter because it shows you're paying attention differently. When your mind stops trying to do many things at once, it can see the world with new clarity. This lets you appreciate the details that make up life. It's moving away from the surface towards a deeper something, more engaging with the present. By seeing this change, the reduction in speed brings richness to what you see. It's a trade-off that values the depth of an experience over getting things done fast. Think about whether this way of looking at one thing is how the mind changes over time. If you're not trying to finish quickly, you can explore the details you missed. It makes you wonder if this is a kind of wisdom that sees the value in a moment over the number of moments. It makes you think about what you gain when you narrow your focus. Maybe the world shows you more when you're patient like this. It's normal to do a routine task, like watering a plant or folding laundry, when your mind starts to wander. You're not lost, but you're layering thoughts, where the action is in the background, while your mind goes to a memory, music, or a question. You might look at a garden while thinking about a building you saw years ago, or think about a word while making a meal. Your mind is on two levels at once. This thought moves smoothly and quietly, a break from the straight line of the day. These things often seem small because they don't stop you from finishing the task. The plants get watered no matter where your mind goes. These mental trips are often seen as daydreaming or being undisciplined. Where total focus is valued, a mind that layers this way can seem to be wasting time. It's easy to see these moments as small blips, a side effect of a routine that doesn't need much thought. Since you're still doing the right thing, the thoughts are ignored. We don't usually share these thoughts, maybe because it's hard to explain why a random thought is relevant. Saying that you are thinking about birds while setting the table can feel awkward. There's a worry that people might think you're distracted. Without a reason to share, they stay private. These thoughts are quiet companions, making up a personal world that's not shared. They're in the silence between words, showing up and disappearing without notice. Seeing this layering of thoughts might matter because it shows a different way you're touching the world. When your mind wanders while your hands are busy, it creates a space for you to create an interesting new thought. The ability to stay connected to the physical world while thinking abstractly suggests you're flexible. It's moving from a focus to a broad way of thinking. By seeing these moments, the routine becomes a foundation for more thinking. This layering isn't leaving reality, but making it fuller, letting you experience the moment differently. Think about whether layering thoughts is how the mind finds its own way to relax and be active. If the task is simple, maybe the mind is trying to reflect in the quiet spaces of the day. Maybe a wandering mind is seeking a broad view of its own experiences. There's a never ending to these mental trips, saying that the path of attention doesn't have to be straight. Maybe these layered times are a normal part of life, where the lines between tasks and thoughts are blurred. It's often said that the world outside is noisy. When walking or entering a shop, there's music, traffic, and notifications. Attention is pulled in different directions by these sights and sounds. It's normal to pause when trying to understand a conversation or read a sign in a crowd. It's not a difficulty understanding, but a way of going through something dense with input. The mind has to work to find the specific piece of news. These things often seem small because everyone lives this way. You might think that if others seem to go through the noise, your reaction is odd. It's easy to see being overwhelmed as a normal thing, like the weather. Since these factors are a part of daily life, they're thought of as normal. The effort to focus is dismissed as a small thing. We don't talk about this noise because it can seem like complaining about progress. There's a worry that thinking that it's hard to focus might make you seem out of date. Without a reason to mention it, these moments stay to oneself. It's easier to go to a quiet space than to talk about being stimulated by the modern world. This is a silent agreement with the area. Seeing how someone reacts to noise shows attention is there. When someone ignores a television to focus on a book, they're deciding where to put energy. This awareness shows attention isn't a passive receiver, but a selective tool. Recognizing environmental noise allows for a view as to why some days are tiring. Being present needs effort. Think about the link between the mind and louder world. If the environment is asking for more attention, it makes you wonder how to act. There's a chance to think if focus is a reaction to noise or to protect calm. Could it be that world needs attention? It's normal to reach the photo of a day and find the memorable moments weren't what you checked off by the quiet times of looking and thinking. You were watching a shadow cross a wall or thinking. There's resting within the right instead of pushing. The attention is spread out, which feels good. These things can seem you don't get end. Sitting quietly doesn't fix social men. Many equate these with periods of day. It's pushed the day. People talking dramatic what happens to face. It's that different the day remains. It may present is to talk. Speed immediate, what recognition presence there. It is there is now.